So, the holidays are officially over, the kids are back at school, and you've started to regrow the hair that you pulled out over the summer. Life's starting to feel a little bit normal again. So I thought, bugger it, the kids are going back to school, so why don't we go back together as well? So grab yourself a tall glass of Raro, open up yourself full of snack. Let's get into it, shall we?
We say goodbye, 80s.
Hello, 90s.
What's the video?
Destination, Planet Hollywood.
Audio 5.
Tamagotchi, the original virtual reality package.
Do it.
The school in the 80s and the 90s was pretty wild, man. But I'm not even going to pretend like I know what it was like in my parents' era. That was the dark ages, man. The age of corporal punishment. The age of the cane. And the age of nuns who aggressively smacked you if your cursive was out of line. Thankfully, by the time we showed up, New Zealand kind of grew as a nation. We ditched the cane, but somehow still ended up with the violence. My first day at primary school felt like I was dropped into a small, low-budget horror movie. The world was huge and terrifying, and I was so bloody small, man. Suddenly, my mum dropped me off, signed me in, gave me a complimentary pat on my shoulder, and then off she was into the mist like a ghost. And then the moment hit me. I was all alone. Surrounded by kids who looked like they already started paying taxes. They had full moustaches and biceps, and some of them looked like they had a second mortgage. And so I wept, and that's when I saw it. A group of kids came over and comforted me. Not with their words, but with their fists to my schnoz and a couple to my ribs. Just a warm welcome pack to say, we've seen you. And then we became best mates. It's kind of funny how friendship works when you're 5 years old, eh? Our teachers all had some kind of perm or mulleted perm hybrid, and the classroom smelt like a mixture of watered down PVA glue and little ice cream containers, fermented feet, and someone's lunch leaking out of their bag in the cloakroom. And suddenly, by morning tea, 3 years had passed, because time works differently when you're in primary school. And now you're released onto one of the biggest playgrounds you've ever seen in your life. 3 stories high, an amalgamation of wood and metal and possibly human bones, filled with cargo nets and a fireman's pole and a big metal slide that burnt from the top all the way down to the bottom. But there were rumours. Legends spoke in hushed tones. Apparently, 3 deaths occurred on that playground. Definitely not true. But there was at least one kid who fell off the very top and shattered his leg into pieces, which meant that the fun police had to arrive with their clipboards and their hard hats, and suddenly our fort went from 3 stories down to a measly 1.5 stories, which sucked because it also meant that we could no longer stand on the very top and laugh at the bloke who was mowing the lawn in the nude at the nudist colony next door. But then the bell rings and you're back in class. Was it creative writing? You get to map out your entire future in your 1B5 with the Duracell Sonic cover that your dad almost lost his shit applying last night. Nah, can't be. Swimming. 30 kids all breaststroking in a pool that was freezing cold, flipper boards in your hand, and a single whistle echoing like it was blown by someone who had lost the will to live. But even underwater you can smell it, man. The smell of the tuck shop next door. The mums were heating up the pies and the sausage rolls and the donuts. And that's when you start to panic. Did you drop in your envelope at the school hall this morning? Yeah, you did. With a handwritten note from your mum or your dad requesting a pie and a bag of salt and vinegar chips, or maybe even a zap. Because you'd take the top off your pie and you'd scoop out the mince with your chips like a mince connoisseur. And after lunch came assembly, the best part of the day, because you try to sneak a spot on the mat with your friends. But teachers like wildcats have a sixth sense for that kind of thing, and they'll separate you just because they remember all the nonsense you caused before. And so you'd sit there clapping away at awards that you'd never even receive, singing along to the national anthem played by a brave teacher on the guitar, who slapped it complimentary during the chorus to give it a bit of extra oomph. And then one day you looked up yawning, and your parents were suddenly in the back of the hall, because that's it. Primary school's over now. Your friends might even be going to different intermediates. Your teachers are becoming distant memories, and the summer holidays are waiting outside the hall. You walk out thinking, man, I'm going to know these people forever. But you don't. but you'll be reminded of them every time you smell PVA glue. So getting up early was never one of my favourite things, and getting up early for school was even worse. But now that I'm in intermediate, things are different. I'm basically a man. Still no hairs on my chest, legs, or other places that I'm willing to talk about. But somehow, overnight, I'm now responsible for my entire day. My lunch is packed in my bag, my homework hasn't even been touched, and I'm standing at the bus stop on -1 chill factor in shorts and socks, trying not to shiver in front of the chicks, because the bus stop is now a new challenge. There's now a mixture of college kids and intermediate kids. Taller, louder. These kids look like they've seen wars, man. And the girls, well, let's just say that we've noticed. Intermediate classes are different. You've now got your own desk. This was free real estate, so naturally you decided to vandalise it with your name. You still have one teacher, but now she's ditched the mullet and she's opted for a hotter, younger version who will haunt your future adolescent fantasies. Now there's specialist subjects, potential portals into your future. If you're a sensitive soul, you can paint away your feelings in art class. Or if you like working with your hands, you can build yourself a gun or a sword in woodwork class. And somehow, I don't know how, but I managed to sew a fully functioning wheat bag together. To this day, I still don't remember how to sew. I just blacked out and woke up with a rectangular shaped pillow filled with wheat. Lunch is different too. We don't have a tuck shop that delivers our food. Now we've got a seedy little back alley storeroom that can't fit anything, but somehow manages to have everything that you need. Pies, lollies, drinks and juicies. Enough sugar to fuel the entire school for 50 years. And so you load up because you're about to play tackle rugby on the field. Life's pretty good in these 2 years. You feel older, wiser, bigger, like you leveled up in the world, and it all goes by really fast. One minute you're making pottery that looks like a haunted ashtray, the next minute you're on a field trip to visit potential colleges for next year. Big questions suddenly exist. Do you go to a Catholic school with your mates? Or do you opt for the co-ed school and experience existential dread while you're going through puberty next to someone that you really like? Well, that's future you's problem. For now, you've just got your shoes and socks off, and you're eating your juicy in the hot summer sun. So it's all worked up to this, man. College. Or as the rest of the world calls it, high school. I made the choice over the summer. I opted against the uniformity of faith-based education because I like chicks better. So I went to a co-ed school. Looking back, that decision paired perfectly with my undiagnosed ADHD, which made for some pretty confusing and challenging years, I must say, because there were distractions everywhere. New buildings, new smells, mostly just girls experimenting with different flavours of impulse spray and body butter that they received over the Christmas holidays. And my God, was I happy that I chose a co-ed school. Even though I now had to carry my entire life on my back, weighing close to 20 kilos, a big thick maths textbook, a science book, an English book that I never opened, lunch, PE gear, and a spare can of Lynx for emergencies. We now had one teacher for a check-in in the mornings and for assemblies, and then off we'd go. From there the day was a bit of a blur of confusion. Different buildings and different floors, different rooms that somehow looked identical, different teachers, different subjects, all wearing the same expression. But none of that mattered today because today was sports day, that sacred day of the year, where suddenly everyone became deeply involved with their house colours. You'd paint your face and watch all the athletic kids while you perfected the art of blending in with the crowd. Sports day wasn't about the sport, it was about avoiding responsibilities. You'd clap just enough to look involved, and then you'd escape the moment that a teacher started handing out any notes. These were meant to be the best years of our lives, but honestly, I can't really remember much. There are flashes that I can remember clearly though, like discovering what my insides tasted like after a dragon boating party in the weekend. But that's a video for another time. Maybe we'll cover parties in a future episode. But looking back, what I really miss isn't the school. It's the people. It's the friends that I made along the way. The ones who stood next to me during the awkward phases, the bad haircuts, worse clothes, and poor decisions. Those relationships formed who we are today. I don't think I was one of the cool kids. I wasn't a social butterfly, but I do like to think that I exist in someone else's memories. That maybe I played a small part in someone else's childhood. So whether you loved school or you completely hated it, I hope you can look back with a little warmth in your heart. Especially if you have kids. Because now you can remind them of how tough we had it when we were kids. Just like our parents used to. And if you want to keep this nostalgia ride going, you can watch some of my other videos on 80s and 90s New Zealand culture. Don't forget to give the video a like down here, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, or if you're feeling generous, you can always donate to my Buy Me a Coffee channel. Until next time, be good, be safe, and I'll see you in the next one, eh?